We are the weirdos, mister.
All right, so today is a react day because y'all, in case y'all didn't know, the way that this worked out is the post office is an actual nightmare to work for. So what they've done is when they did the route cuts, supposedly, since the inception of the RREC system for the rural carriers or RCAs and or both, they knew that it takes 52 weeks of data in order to properly evaluate the size of the route and the size of each location. And then they would be able to cut it. Knowing that, they still gave us cuts anyway. And then in a fit of Christmas spirit, they're sending us all letters of demand to let us know that we have to pay them back the difference because they didn't actually have 52 weeks of data for a lot of these areas that they cut our routes, which mine never actually got cut. It got cut, then they added more shit to it. It's still overburdened. And so now, in the spirit of Christmas, we all have to pay them back the difference between when our routes went back up. And now they're telling us it's back down. They're putting it back down at its pre-cut size. And then we have to pay them back. There's no getting out of it. You just have to. So yeah, maybe today, Satan. Which means my black ass has to get on my content creation motherfucking grind because I have to be able to afford to pay my editor. I can't edit the shit. Yes, Steven. That's the post office way. Our insurance went up. And we have to pay them. And let me just add insult to injury is that ever since I've had this route as a regular for the 2 years I've been on it, fun fact, I have been overburdened the entire time. Are they going to pay me back for that? The answer is no. So I have to work my fucking ass off because I don't know what my checks are going to look like or how much they're going to be taking out of my check. So it's just been a spirit of ruination and destruction.
Let the ball removal begin.
Lisa. It's very irritating. I'm very upset. So, in the spirit of being the messiah of nonsense, I'm not sure if y'all are aware, but the evil that is Jeffree Star was excreted from Satan's fifth testicle and through the urethra to guest star on the canceled podcast. And that is what we are going to be reacting to today. If you're new here, I'm Audra, and I do things that you might or might not enjoy. And that's as much promo as I can stomach doing for myself. Listen, I'm gonna do what I always do. I already put it on 1.25 times speed, but let me just say this one thing. The boots that Jeffree has on are killer. However, I don't feel that they go with the outfit. And I know that there's gonna probably potentially be some people who are going to roll over here who are Jeffree Star stans and tell me that I don't have any fashion sense because I'm wearing a sweatshirt that's covered in cat hair. And to that, I would say you were incorrect. It's dog hair, so that makes me the perfect person. Cheers. Listen, Jeffree Star to me is one of those people that awful, right? But like a male seahorse, fascinating. Because when you see a male seahorse giving birth, it is disgusting. The way that the babies are just shooting out of its body, just but also you can't look away. And that's how I feel about Jeffree Star. So if you're wondering my bias, no, I don't like him. So here we go. Tana's looking slay. And I don't really care about Brooke ever. Sorry.
Back to the Cancel Podcast.
Hi.
Jeffree Lynn.
Hi, y'all.
How are ya?
Oh
Okay,
my
move me
God.
again.
How are ya?
Yes, I needed it so bad.
We really needed this.
I am so happy. It's just seeing you makes me really feel a type of way. It transports me to a really different time of my life. Having you as a guest, this is so iconic.
I really love this one.
Oh.
No, so right when she said that, it triggers really good memories. I think maybe people look at us and they may think craziness drama right away, but
You ever notice how every time that Jeffree Star shows up somewhere, he's always and people always think craziness drama. He says that every single time. And I'm just did you know that you're the common denominator of the craziness and the drama? I just want you to know.
and every time we were together, it was always positive energy. We filmed the funniest videos. All we did was laugh the entire time, so it definitely brings me back to really good times.
It brings me back to good times because
Yeah.
I was a fan at that time. So
Why are you
was
speaking?
And it was so cool at the time. Looking you just think you know everything when you're young like that. And it's I definitely was that. But
Boom. All right. I've made adjustments. Let's just move your video fully cover, Jeff. Listen.
But looking back, it's I had no money yet. And I'm this little Make-A-Wish child coming over to Jeffree Star's house, and Jeffree's dressing me head to toe in Gucci, and I'm playing with all the pinball machines. And it's roaming around, rest in peace.
Wait, Tiana. Is this how their set always looks? I'm also going to increase the speed because I feel like I do this every time where I think in my mind 1.25 is enough, but it should be 1.5. I don't like any of this energy. So let's see what's going to happen.
I'm kidding. And all the Pomeranians and just like, you really.
Oh my God.
I was saying
I can't breathe.
I'm sorry. Me just glazing over.
No, but what's crazy is in that time I was newly rich. 2013 I had $500. 2015 $50 million. So it's just like
crazy.
And then it just kept going and growing.
And here's the thing. I'm going to say this about Jeffree Star. I think it's amazing that he was able to like come from being a gutter rat to whatever it is that he is today. Very rich, very wealthy. Not demure, not mindful. I just think that why couldn't he be nice? Like, bro, why couldn't you just be nice? I just want to know. Gutter rat to a gold-plated rat. Yeah, I also think that turnabout is only fair play. So if you're upset that I called him a gutter rat, I actually don't care.
A really wild ride. So Tana met me when I was in love for the very first time in a brand new house, just figuring out who the new me was. And it was so cool to be around people that didn't give a fuck, that knew just how to have fun and didn't take me that serious because I'm so sarcastic. And I think people misinterpret it all the time. Fucking idiots.
Nobody's misinterpreting your sarcasm. Nobody's misinterpreting it, Jeffree. You're just kind of a fucking piece of garbage.
We've never had any sort of beef or anything. She's
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's
like-
just good.
Yeah,
almost like
people
this-
may think that we've had drama maybe
We
because we
get
haven't seen each other in a while. People do get confused. No one knows the real
I
truth about
wouldn't know
any of the
'cause
any of the
everything-
past. I had to live it, so sadly I remember it all. But me and her never.
You have great memory. You never forget, and I love that because I'm so the opposite. I'll call you and just be like, wait, what happened again? Like, whose drama?
Photographic memory.
It's so great. But like, I genuinely feel like
Again, I do have something nice to say about Jeffree is the nails are gorgeous. The nails are hitting. But it's really weird for him to bring his Trump loving ass over here, but okay.
at the time it was like a whirlwind, like Dramageddon. Everything was happening around us, and everyone had beef. You know what I mean? Except for you and me.
We never
And
did.
it was a bonding point.
Wendy
I feel
Williams, rest in peace. She's still alive, but still rest in peace to her show. Shoe Cam.
know.
Shoe Cam.
Clap if what did she say? Clap if they should die.
Clap if they should
Yeah.
suffer.
Oh fuck, I was close. You know what my first like random thought was today
Yes.
that I just like genuinely want to know? Like, when is the last time you spoke to Shane Dawson?
Oh my god, I was expecting a way crazier question.
I thought that was such a crazy
I was
question.
waiting for like, I was like, what is Tana's very first
Yes.
question? That's a
I'm
really
sorry,
good one.
is he drinking a Red Bull with the straw, like from the can? If you drink from a can with a straw, let me know why. He always does that? Why? I mean, I thought he was like this infamous cocksucker, literally. So it would seem that you would want to like, you know, put the can up and be like, oh, I'm sorry, listen.
This is the foreplay, you know, before we start really fucking.
I mean, listen, right now, I can't believe that the conspiracy palette is about to turn 5 years old this week.
I just used it.
5 years
So cool.
old?
Yeah, so I don't know when this is coming out, but right, it's in the fall, and it literally came out November 1st, and then 5 years just blinked, right?
Yeah.
Me and him, we were both canceled. Can't even remember why that time.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
This is why I cannot stand Jeffree Star with like literally every ounce of my being. Cannot stand him because he always does this thing where he's like, I don't know why I was canceled. Bitch, you know why. Oh, this is, again, I hate these people. They come on these podcasts and pretend they don't remember their history. Because didn't she just say like, Jeffree remembers everything?
You have great
refreshers.
memory. You never forget.
Photographic memory.
Except for when he got canceled, I guess.
It happened. He moved to Colorado. I moved to Wyoming. We both kind of left LA. He lives here again. I'm never coming back.
lives here again?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's raised
Yeah,
in
when
it.
he had his kids.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So he became a father. I have continued to just be a makeup mogul, and I have no plans to have any kids, just more dogs and a couple more husbands. Yes. We're in LA. I can't wait for this to be over so I can go get.
a little heavy on that makeup mogul, like used to be makeup mogul.
This is why when you talk about Jeffree Star approved makeup, don't nobody care anymore, okay? Because your word means nothing.
Used to break the internet, and I'm always going to give credit for that because that shit was wild. Those days where like the internet would like break, I'm glad that they're gone, but those days were like very intense. People were willing to sacrifice everything for like him, ABH. It was a big deal. It's not anymore. Nobody cares.
Stop. What?
Just kidding.
I mean, what are you
I'm
fucking
not
tonight?
kidding, meaning I don't want to leave here. I'll ask him how many Super Bowls he's won. Then we'll
Stop.
And that wig is slay.
Yeah. If there's not a Super Bowl ring on the hand, I can't get hard.
You are so inspirational.
Just somebody clip that, please.
But we haven't seen each other probably in like 10, 11 months. Yeah, we saw each other at my birthday last year, and then he became a father. He has twins.
Wait, how old are they? Have you met the twins?
Not yet.
That is so
I know,
crazy.
because I thought he was going to stay in Colorado.
I'm so sorry. I would literally never allow Jeffree Star near my children. Not for the reasons that you think, not for predator reasons. I just literally would not want that monster around my kids. That kind of like hateful, dark ass energy around my children. I think the fuck not. And I don't even want kids.
and I was like, baby, I'm about to be, great aunt Jeffree Lynn. And then he moved to LA to raise the kids here, and I haven't seen him in a couple months. So
I can imagine coming back to LA to raise kids. I feel like you leave LA to raise kids.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's what I thought.
Leaving LA was the best thing you ever did, and you were so ahead of the
Yes.
wave. Everyone was so almost confused.
And now Wyoming is a trend.
And it's like, yeah.
They think it is.
Oh.
So Wyoming, December
what drew you
is
to
my
Wyoming?
4 years of living there now. Just picture 4 years. Isn't that crazy?
Stop, it's so crazy. You and the Yaks, I have so many
Yeah, how are the
questions over
Yaks?
there.
LA, I was really burnt out. 20 years from Huntington Beach, California. I graduated high school at 17 and I moved here and I just figured it out. I worked at the Beverly Center and I was an escort, I was a hooker. I've been a makeup artist for everybody. So it was crazy to finally leave and separate. But I think that all the drama with all the people in the crazy YouTube era was really like the final straw for me of like, all this is so toxic. I really want to go be at peace away from it all.
You know what I find so irritating about Jeffree Star is like beautiful. Why are some of the most beautiful people on earth so awful? Because the makeup look is killing it. The hair is slay. The nails gorgeous. The outfit is ugly. The boots amazing. The outfit is very, very ugly. It's giving like Sgt. Pepper, I feel like. Or like, Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation vibes, but like weak because he doesn't have the shoulders for those little thingies. I'm being so mean. But who cares? That's who I am as a person. I'm not masking anymore, so let me live my life.
At all. I can work and come back whenever I want, but I don't want to be around any of that.
Yeah, fuck the hair gummies.
Yes,
Fuck
all of it. It was all so crazy. And I think when the pandemic happened, remember that old lady, Tati? Remember her? She uploaded a second video, which is now about to, be 5 years old.
Sir, I don't want to be rude, but how the fuck are you calling Tati old? Ziggy, how old is Jeffree Star?
Jeffree Star is 39 years old.
Ziggy, how old is Tati Westbrook?
Tati Westbrook is 42 years old.
Bitch, how the fuck is he gonna call? You know that old lady Tati? Jeffree, you are 39 and she is 42. I am 44, almost 45. Like, we are all in the same club of old. Do we look amazing? Bitch, yes. But like, don't be calling somebody old if they ain't old.
And I
After Bye Sister. Bye Sister is such a diabolical title too. Like, imagine really typing that and hitting publish.
It's a
Bye.
It's a really wild journey, and I think a lot of people just know a lot of like half truths, and I think we
It was
really get to
iconic.
really know the behind the scenes, and there's so many things that people don't need to know that happened before. It's all, to me, I don't want to say it's irrelevant because so many people still talk about it. It's really wild.
It was a cultural, like,
It was-
I remember
pop
where I
culture.
was. It was like, oh,
the
wow.
YouTube era made on CNN, 50 million views on every. It was the craziest thing. YouTube,
And everyone who loved it.
Bye Sister was a tits title. Like iconic. Let's not pretend like that was whack. That was a very, very good title. Tati knew what she was doing. Also, if you want the behind the scenes from Gabriel Zamora, I almost called him Gabriel Iglesias, please. I do believe Jen Love has been doing a series where she like talked to him about shit. It's actually very interesting and eye-opening. I feel like there's 2 parts out right now. I don't know when the 3rd part is out.
That was the tweet that started it all. It lit the fire to the flame. All the other things were there. The dry brush was there, covered in gasoline with maximum oxygen, no fanning of the flames. Like, it was ready to burn. And I said, here's the match.
YouTube loved it. They loved pushing out toxicity. They loved making money off of everyone's misery. They did. The old
100%.
CEO at the time really pandered to a lot of that evil energy in the darkness.
Susan?
Yeah, rest in peace.
Did she die?
I swear, by all that is holy, Jeffree likes to act like he was not exactly part of that toxicity. Like, do y'all not remember the evil laughing that he would do? Like, every time something would happen, Jeffree would show up on Snapchat. I shit you not. I gotta move the mic back so I'm not too loud. Being like, he was part of the toxicity. Bye!
See ya.
We always knew that something had happened because Jeffree would show up on Snapchat, evil laughing. And all of these sites do make a lot of money based off of negativity. Most of us, majority of people, are drawn to negative shit instead of positive shit. If we were drawn to positive shit every time we had a good experience somewhere, the reviews would be more positive than negative. When you order Uber Eats, a lot of times you don't even rank the drivers who like really did the thing. They got your food there early, all that shit. He had this like entire era of like wilding on the internet. And now he's trying to pretend like it's fine.
So
Carry the 4, subtract the 2.
yeah, Yeah, and there's just a lot of things that people don't know that I had to really just suffer through behind the scenes. So it's crazy to be here where I am now.
And
it's very weird. I'm really mentally happy, and I moved to Wyoming. I went to therapy. I sought a lot of mental help, and I really worked on myself for years.
So you're just gonna say I sought a lot of
a lot.
The country boys.
Oh my God. So Wyoming is the least populated state.
Really?
Yeah, but it's the 10th biggest.
And is that what drew you? Like, did you have any roots or history in Wyoming?
What was the start where you were like,
Is it Wyoming or is it South Dakota? Ziggy, what's the least populated state?
According to another Amazon customer, the least populated state in the United States is Wyoming.
It is Wyoming. Look at that. He can tell the truth from time to time.
I think so. The rumor is that I moved there for taxes. Like, girl, I've lived in California for so. Yeah, and Kanye. Remember that? The girl that licked the toilet seat on TikTok made up the biggest rumor.
Ava Louise.
Yeah.
she's so good at that though.
So Ava, if you are watching this, thank you for that moment. That was really great. So many millions and millions of views, dollars, followers. That was really fun.
And you played it so
and
well.
still people believe it. I've met strangers and they're like, oh yeah.
Have you ever talked to Kanye about it?
No.
Never. That's surprising.
Yeah, but it was such a bizarre rumor. And I'm like, I wish it was about someone hotter, you know, and someone that didn't have a wife and kids.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Wyoming is peaceful. It's beautiful. Remember, I used to do music, and I do music now. We just had
Oh yeah, there was that rumor that Jeffree hooked up with Kanye West or something. Is that true? Like, that's the rumor? I don't care. Because here was the thing. Jeffree had this way of like pretending like he'd hooked up with someone important and then like wouldn't say anything. What always bothered me is people were like, well, who is it? And honestly, like, we're not going to out people. That's not how we operate. I will say, like, I'm glad that at the very least, even if he was like lying through his teeth about whatever athlete that he was hooking up with at the time, I'm glad he didn't out them, because that's awful, awful territory. And him moving to Wyoming, my theory was always just that, like, nobody wanted to fuck with him anymore. Like, he was persona non grata. Like, come on.
Oh, fucking reunion a couple weeks ago. It was crazy.
So fun.
It was really fun. But I used to do music and I've traveled all over the country, right? I've been to every single state and I passed through Wyoming a bunch. We played there once. It was just so peaceful. And I had a plan when I was older with gray hair and like 60 years old, I was gonna live on a big old farm and just be by myself. And then the pandemic and all the drama made me realize I wanted to fast track that plan. That's really what it's about. It's not about money.
Yeah.
I've paid so many tax dollars in this state. It's annoying that people would think
Why would you say that? It's not about money.
Like,
Like,
tax dollars,
Yeah.
girl.
You have all the money in the
so
world.
Silly.
I don't even think that's that offensive though. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but I just hate when people always make it about financial. I
Yeah.
think maybe because I'm
I don't
living-
think you needed really help in that department to be
No,
honest.
and it's just
I just hate it because I want people to think that I'm super rich and wealthy and that I didn't run with my tail tucked between my legs because I'm an awful human being.
really did it for my mental health. So we're 4 years in.
And it worked?
Yeah, and I'm raising camels and Tibetan yaks, and it's just the craziest, cool experience.
Thanks so much.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
I'm not going to be doing that, Miss Tana.
We were in Vegas last week with the crazy Warped Tour reunion.
Real text from
Oh
Jeffree.
my
Vegas
God.
had me.
Yeah, that was so fun.
She goes, you have to hear these voice memos. And that was the first one. It was, I was like,
Every time I get a voice
There's
memo from
nothing
you,
like it.
I feel like I should have to pay like $1.99 for
Thank
it.
you.
Like it's not real.
So when I'm living this crazy life and I'm on the road or I'm doing podcasts or I'm at the crazy Warped Tour reunion or I'm whatever I'm doing, I feel like I'm doing a job, but I'm still me. And then I go to Wyoming and I just take it all off and I'm in my cowboy boots, just staring at a mountain, 1,000 acres to myself. And it's just like so
Is it actually
peaceful.
just you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I have a ranch manager and I have a house manager. That's, there's someone that watches my dogs 24/7. One, when I'm not in town.
How many do you have now?
7. Yeah, 7.
Is it still all the D names?
All D's, yeah.
What are they?
Well, rest in peace. My oldest passed away last year. 15 years old.
Which
Diva
one,
Lynn.
Diamond?
I feel so bad for him for that. When you lose a pet, it's like nobody prepares you for how just like devastating that actually is, because like every time you get a pet you have to recognize like you're holding them one day and you just realize like you're gonna leave this earth before me, and it's just crushing.
So
imagine.
currently we have Drizzle, Donatella, Drama, Dessert, Dominatrix, and Da Vinci.
Those are the best names I've ever heard.
And I'm forgetting one. And
There's
I
are not.
Forgetting what's so funny.
I get how that could happen.
If I woke up tomorrow as
Oh
Jeffree
no, it's
Star's,
delicious. I'm not forgetting one. I
delicious.
was just had to go through the colors in my
Right.
delicious.
if I woke up tomorrow as Jeffree Star's Pomeranian, I wouldn't ask a single question. I would be like,
Yes.
bring me my caviar. Let's get it pushing.
I just love animals way more
So
than
what's up with the
humans.
camels? I didn't even know that. I'm
So
sorry.
you can
I
have
started
camels
with
in
yaks.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people were upset when I moved to Wyoming and I was like, hey, these are my cute little pets. And they are, but they do grow to be very massive. And I went from 3 yaks to like 10 and now I have 500. And
500?
And yeah. And
3 to 10 to 500.
And the
I
problem
really
with my
don't know
brain
how
is I
It's
always
giving $5 to 50 million.
And I for some reason always make everything to a business and I don't mean to. I just kind of make everything business oriented. So
It's my favorite thing about
I
you.
was traveling in
No, I get that. That's the same thing that like we do with content. It's one of the reasons why I do enjoy doing this form of content. I think that's another thing that made me uncomfortable filming for YouTube, because it gets harder to just do things because you enjoy them and you get content brain and everything is always like, oh, I could make this into content. I can make that into content. And realistically speaking, like I just want to enjoy like the small bits and pieces of my life that I get to enjoy when I'm not working 12 hours a day.
Colorado, the state right below it, right? And this lady served us yak meat. And I was like, okay, I've heard it, yak's great. In China and Pakistan, yak meat is the healthiest red meat you can currently have in America, right? I didn't know anything about it.
What does it taste like?
It's like a sweeter beef. It's so yummy. It's not gamey at all. That's our biggest question.
Yes.
And we sell jerky, snack sticks, like crack on the TikTok shop. People are buying,
People are buying yak on TikTok shop?
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
shit.
I
Yeah.
want to, the fact that, like, think, imagine telling a Victorian child, like, I
Yes.
sell yak meat on TikTok
Yes,
shop.
with mascara. So I created the concept a year ago of
I don't know why, but Tana's saying, imagine telling a Victorian child I sell yak meat on TikTok is like, you would have to explain to them what TikTok was first. Okay, so listen, I'm from the future, and in my time, there's this thing called, let me fast forward. There's this thing called the internet, and I'm gonna have to go back further because you're not really gonna, you know what? You're probably just gonna die in the street. There's no point.
So if you want to try Jeffree's meat, you can come to Casper
So bad.
or our newly open location in Chatsworth right here.
I need to come to Wyoming. You and I have
really
been talking
fun.
about that for like 5 years. I want to
You
do a
gotta
YouTube
come
video where I
visit.
just
It's so fun.
live the fantasy. I would love to. So
I feel like it would
I'm
not be
gonna
fun.
see Jeffree Star's here. I don't give a fuck. When you were coming at Mikayla saying she had a Temu spray tan, I damn near passed out. I needed air. Like, and it's so because I'm Temu like spray tan so coated, but like you're just so funny.
But you look like a normal human skin tone. She
Thank you.
look her. I mean,
Look at this,
literally,
though.
her spray tan.
No, please don't show him that.
It looks like you stepped in oil though, like a.
Maybe you have like a good Jeffree Star remover.
We do. Our makeup
don't
removing
show
balm.
Here's my problem with the whole for those of you all who don't know, you need to check out Mika's rhetoric because she has a video, I believe, talking about it, and maybe Fat Say Jack does as well. The whole point was that we all know Mikayla's dishonest or whatever, and Jeffree Star does this thing where he comes at people, and he came at her, and she just ignored him. She just pretended that he did not exist because one, she's bigger than Jeffree Star. She's doing better, I think, in the world of makeup than he is. So there's literally no reason for her to engage in beef with him. What's the point? As much as I don't love Mikayla and her lying, I will say she is the top dog at being unbothered queen. She's unbothered by being a liar. She's unbothered by getting caught lying. And she's definitely unbothered by Jeffree Star coming out and calling her names. I think she makes one reference to it and then just kept it pushing. Jeffree Star is really not worth the energy, especially if you're where Mikayla is. Again, I'm not a fan, but I am going to say if I was her, I wouldn't give a fuck either. At her age, Ziggy, how old is Mikayla Nogueira?
From officialissa.com, Mikayla is 30.
And he's 9 years older than her. So you just ignore him. You just pretend like he doesn't exist. And for the most part, he goes away. I mean, he's like the boogeyman. Well, no, the actual boogeyman is Kendrick Lamar.
Fuck a double entendre. I want y'all to feel this shit.
I behave. I'm now behaving because I don't want Kendrick Lamar to come for me in any way, shape, or form or fashion. I don't want to be on Kendrick's radar of being a piece of shit person. Kendrick had a song where he ends up eating up all of them dudes, including shits and gigs.
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman that's law. I know probably gonna work for them and fuck whoever that's close to them.
And honestly, before you do things, just WWKDD. What would K-Dot do?
So obviously
Should we get down and dirty about this? Because this only happened a couple days ago.
Yeah, I am down to talk about it.
I haven't really.
I can understand how that would piss you off though, in such a visceral way. As someone who's you are known for being genuinely honest about quality of product and not scamming your followers, and no one else is.
I hate that everybody says that about him. I absolutely abhor the way that people are like, Jeffree Star's so honest. He absolutely has a stake in telling you whatever he wants to tell you. He has a makeup company. It doesn't mean he has to be honest. It's the same conversation I have about smaller beauty content creators. Just because someone's a small content creator, it doesn't mean that they're being honest with you. It could mean that they're just trying to get to the next step. So they're going to lie their way to getting to that next step.
First of all, we all know that I stepped down 10 years of doing beauty content. I basically quit YouTube, right? I barely upload. It was somewhere where I really found home, and I really think Dramageddon, whatever everyone wants to call it, really was the final straw for me. Of I really want to remove myself.
That's when something makes you hate something you love.
That part. Yes. So when I went to TikTok,
You are the one who made it.
Because remember during the pandemic, I was like, nope, we're still full YouTube. Everyone.
You don't want to let go of that too.
No,
but
I also.
I'm literally not going to listen to him try to recount the whole situation. For those of you who don't know Cliff's Notes version, maybe last year or the year before last, I feel like I was still living in my old apartment by myself instead of Golden Girlsing it in my house now.
It's been 84 years.
Mikayla Nogueira did a sponsored post for L'Oreal for this mascara, which I'd already had the mascara before this whole thing happened. Mikayla put on this mascara from L'Oreal. I can't remember the name of it. It's Lash Ravash. And then obviously she comes back. She's got on the falsies with it. It's very obvious that she has on the falsies. She gets called out. Nothing happens to her. L'Oreal does not care. They still work with her. Nobody gives a shit. Brands still work with her. And a lot of people were mad about it. And I guess honestly at this point, just stay stay mad. She got paid and it is what it is. So now Jeffree Star has seen fit to try to be like, I'm the messiah of what's right, when he's Jeffree fucking Star.
Oh, what the f?
And then he tries to come out and act like he's the savior. And you're not saving us for anything. We already knew that before you showed up.
What a piece of shit.
Erica.
Yep.
So clearly there's something we're
galaxies.
missing, and I need to
So
know what it is.
let
And
me-
I'm like,
let's dive in.
wait, because now I'm like, did I fuck up? Did I go too far against this? Because
my
if you're
God.
doing it,
Some people are
did
just
am I missing out on a business opportunity? Like,
Yeah.
suddenly I want a galaxy.
So
Yeah.
you, that's only $10, but
Have you seen me? I've been tipping you. It's my new bit.
it's so
I've been
fun.
going in Jeffrey's
So let's
live.
deep dive into it real fast.
Yes.
Why do you think, before answering any questions about me, why do you think people are so triggered by Jason and make a joke of it? I feel neither way. I think it's funny. It doesn't matter. There's 60-year-olds that cook on live stream and they're making a lot of money.
Okay, so we're talking about Jason Nash at this point, and the sadness that is him wet begging, because it's not even dry begging at this point, on TikTok, which is embarrassing. Do I think he could do something better with his time? Like, yes.
Though I do not believe that this is the right thing to do artistically,
That to make money, yes.
I do, however, believe that this is the right thing to do financially.
It is relatively, and I've talked about this before, difficult to have a job outside of being a social media personality if that's what you were for a long time.
That feels wholesome to me. That's no longer fun.
But I'm gonna answer a question. Even though I asked her the question, I'm gonna answer it. It's so fucked up. Only child and Scorpio.
No,
I love it.
I love it.
And 80% sociopath.
And save me from answering like you. I love 80%.
80%, yeah.
I'm like 20, 30, 40.
So the problem is, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
was gonna say. If you're cooking, it's
Yes,
one thing.
you're begging children to swipe their parents' cards,
And they are children.
and all of the things that he's done wrong over the years.
Now,
It's like
you do
you're
legally
not-
have to be 18 or up to gift.
Really?
Rats.
You do. Whether, yes.
Can
you
they
do.
tell though?
No. Well,
I've been 18 since like 11 on like MySpace.
I can't breathe. But I think the problem is I am an internet dinosaur. So my logic, because people are, majority of people get it, because I'm an e-commerce store. So my TikTok page, minus all the fun lip syncs and makeup reviews, I am an e-commerce store, right? So when I go live, a lot of the times, I am selling products for hours. QVC is what our parents used to watch when we were little kids. They turn it on. There's some old lady showing off a diamond bracelet. for
Right.
$79.
Yeah, I do wish Jason Nash did something. He's just like sitting there being like, hey guys, give me money. I'm Jason Nash. Gotta pay for my kids' private school.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If anyone's making fun of me, they're a fucking fool, because this is the future of beauty.
100%.
So we'll get into the battling and what else the app has to offer.
Jeffree, we're not making fun of you for being on TikTok because everybody knows there's money to be made on TikTok. We're actually making fun of you because you're still doing this shit at your old man age. If we're going to be calling people fucking old, you're still like trying to come for people. And that's weird. Like nobody cares that you're selling shit. Everybody's selling shit. I do think it's weird the way like there are people in old beauty YouTube, like on Reddit forums and whatnot, who try to talk about how it's strange. Like, oh, everything must be dying now. And it's like, no, beauty YouTube actually isn't a great place for a lot of people to be because so many of y'all are jaded. No hate, I understand why, but so many of y'all are jaded, angry, irritated, don't believe a lot of people. You're tired of being shilled to. At least on TikTok, when they're sitting there doing their QVC bullshit, like you're being sold to and that's what you came for. So like, it's a smart move for anyone who's doing like beauty YouTube.
Core of what I do, if people don't know, because there's new people that are gonna watch that maybe don't know who I am.
Everyone knows who you are.
TikTok is, I was trying to be modest.
There's a lot of people who don't
But,
know who
it's
Jeffree Star is.
People are there. 3 million people go live a day, and there's millions and millions of people. Yeah, whether they have 1 viewer or 10,000, that app is booming, and they make so much money off these creators. But we are a store, so when I'm live selling, whether I'm with a co-host or I'm by myself, I mean, people are ordering. I give really crazy discounts that you're never gonna see on my site.
I was in there last
on
night. I was
Instagram.
like, he's handing out free palettes.
Yes, buy a palette, get a palette free, and it's only for that 5-hour moment. One time a week, you gotta fucking be there or you're not gonna get it. And there's a lot of people that don't even watch my TikToks, don't know we do deals. So it's a niche market, but it's massive. The money is there, it's huge. We sell products.
He is absolutely correct. It is a huge market to be able to do that. That's why you see so many people doing live.
We are the number 1 or 2 beauty store. This week, number 1 again.
Yay.
On the number 1 app in the
You make
world.
best
I'm
products as
I'm
well.
so proud of it.
At the end of the day, you make the best
Yes.
makeup.
So then let's
No, that's not
switch
true,
to- I'm also
Tana. He
an
does not
internet
make the best
character. I've been around
makeup.
for a long time. I want to
Stop
learn
it.
everything. Just like the YouTube and the beauty world, I fucking immerse myself and I took that bitch over. So I'm like, okay, what are the daily ranks? What are people doing? People will do a 6-hour face paint on TikTok. They'll battle for 12 hours. I have a friend.
What is a battle? Should have asked that before.
Yeah, I
said
don't know
Jason
if I
Nash.
completely understand.
So I live for you.
So uninformed.
So when people, I don't get called a panhandler because I'm a real business and I show people how to make money on the app and it's really great. You can really make a really good income.
I mean, to your face.
Right. My friend's mom cooks
I'm like,
all
oh,
day,
shit.
and she makes money just cooking. Instead of working, as an insurance agent, she now makes way more money, 5 times the amount per month. People are watching her cook and gifting and engaging with her, and her chat really loves her, and people really engage and they come view you every day. I probably go live 4 or 5 times a week.
Okay, I'm just going to give you a quick brief of what a battle is. A battle is when you're trying to beat somebody else and how many gifts you can get. The end.
The YouTube drama era, the lie is always more entertaining than the truth. Why
That's all of the media.
You want to
That's
really
everything.
switch and be bipolar? Why did her second video hit?
My favorite thing that these people do, like, hilarious is when they're like, the lie is always better than the truth. And it's like, first of all, y'all never come out with the truth anyway. So can we all just agree? Y'all don't come out with the truth. So we're just like dealing with the fact that y'all don't tell the truth. And then when we ask y'all for the truth, you're like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm healed now.
I loved this. I loved this transition. We went straight from.
I want to ask you,
why did her
woman to man, when she yes, bitch. I want to know. I've never asked anyone this question because you're making
Tati Westbrook's second
you're
video.
making me reflect on a lot.
What was the title of the second video before I speak on?
Oh God.
Wait, in the second video, she's blaming
Me and
you
Shane.
and Shane for influencing her to make.
Here's the thing, just for the
first video.
record, I don't feel like I need to prove myself to anyone ever.
Which, for the record, I don't agree with. I don't care what people were feeding you. Yes, we can all be tricked or whatever, but you were going to drop a video that was going to negatively impact someone's life, and you knew it while you were doing that. And then you tried to back out of it by being like, oh my God, I don't want everything to be so negative. Like, everybody should just chill. It's like, you started this like war, like you started a food fight, and you're like surprised that there's food everywhere, that there's like condiments everywhere and mustard. Okay, I've been wanting to use that forever. And now you throw this grenade everywhere, and then you're surprised, and then you don't like how it's going, and then James fights back. Again, go watch the Jen Love interview with Gabriel Zamora, because it's actually quite good, because Gabriel Zamora was back apparently behind the scenes helping James. Again, this is James of yore. Okay, this isn't today James. I'm not defending today James. I feel like everybody has to say that whenever we're talking about this shit, because you're like, not today, bitch. Then James fights back, and then now Tati's looking bad, and instead of her just owning, like, I made this video and I listened to what people said to me, and I never bothered to check their sources. I never bothered to go back and talk to James. I just assumed that these people were correct, and I lived my life like based off of that. I expect my friends, when I tell them a thing about somebody, I'm not offended if they're like, well, I'm gonna look into what you're talking about, because at least I know that they would have the sense to be like, well, I just want to make sure like your general hatred for this person isn't overshadowing like exactly what went down, blah 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 blah. So I have never agreed with Tati trying to like pin the blame on other people. You are a grown adult, and you have to take responsibility for what you did. And to this day, because we saw her laughing and kikiing it up in that other video,
I'm kind of an idiot, and I'm kind of like this innocent, like,
you didn't really do that.
But I don't think or talk about these things often. So when I do, a lot of memories flood in. I've put a lot of this behind me. I don't think about it. It was a very dark time. And my question is and I've never got to ask anyone this, even as a fan or a viewer, because
I'm just having coffee, so it's like I can't drink, but like I've moved past it. It was a dark time.
Viewers of what all happened, even though I was a part of it. Why do you think her second video hit? Did they just want me and Shane to be the villain for the 100th time?
I think people, even just the viewers watching, the fans of Dramageddon happening, were...
I hate the way Jeffree always does that. Literally, he called himself the villain all the time. He called himself that.
All I'm here is to be the most honest beauty influencer since the dawn of time. And there's a reason why they always try to make me the villain, y'all.
He is the one who kept calling himself the villain. Like, oh, you just want me to be the villain? And by the time you see this one, you will have seen my Shane Dawson video. Ugh. I kind of hope that that one doesn't perform as well, so I don't have to watch the second part. If y'all blew up my spot and I have to watch the second part of that AI video bullshit,
You're gonna regret this for the rest of your lives.
I'm so upset with you. But also, thank you.
You're welcome.
Enamored by the idea of all of YouTube's hierarchy being even, I don't want to compare it to anything that's like happening right now in the media with like the Diddy stuff, but people are glued to the idea of the takedown of a hierarchy of anything, like all the Kardashians, everyone that's going to be taken down with Diddy. People love to see that.
I was never there, by the way. I like straight rappers. I was never there. I was never there. Ugh.
Jeffree, please release us. None of us believe you're with any rapper. I'm not saying rappers aren't on the DL. They are, just as any group of people can be on the DL. But Jeffree, we're begging you, stop this. We don't think you're famous, and you're fucking famous. Literally, like, ow, you know? We just want you to stop it.
Yeah, bunch of
That's honestly a good spot to clarify. I was going to ask you that.
I think what was bizarre is me and Shane, and I've never even said this on camera before, we were busy filming the conspiracy documentary. We were filming for 10, 11 months how to create a product, our lives, all the newness of my life, my love life, my dogs, my...
Also, if you want me to go back and react to that shit, like from way in the past, what do those documentaries look like now? Just let me know in the comments. I might do it for nostalgia.
exponential growth of my channel. The fact that anyone believed that we were bored to try to ruin someone's life on the side when we're living our dreams, our financial dreams, the viewers were so crazy. It was the biggest, most exciting.
I don't think that you were trying to ruin someone's life on the side. You can ruin someone's life while you're doing other things. I mean, just ask any Taurus, ask any Scorpio, ask an Aries. Like, we can multitask. I can ruin your life while eating bacon and egg. Like, I don't have to choose one or the other. I love the revision, like the history revisions that he has. Because I promise you, if you start going back to like interviews he did, it's all gonna say different shit.
Me and him have ever done career-wise, and the most successful. I couldn't believe I woke up and people believed I'm the villain for the 100th time. I couldn't believe it.
You couldn't believe it? After you were yelling hard R at people? Do you believe you called Jackie Aina a gorilla and or an irrelevant rat? Are they both things? You were shitty to your fans? Somebody was like, oh my God, I look like Jeffree Star, and he like ate them the fuck up. He's like, you're just trying to make me the villain? Bitch, okay.
Powerful at that time and like putting it on you guys.
That's why I wanted to ask you, Star. Let me be quiet. So what do you think?
She was always threatened as well, like even just with the sugar bear hair, like all of that, like James my gummy, this. It felt like she was insecure in her spot.
I was gonna say,
I will agree with that.
Strange. Like I think about it now, and like if I had like a hat brand.
I don't like it when Brooke talks. I know that that's probably misogynistic. I just don't like her. And it's not like I love Tana, but there's something about the cadence with which Tana speaks. I can listen to her, but somehow whenever Brooke starts talking, I'm just like, please stop.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
I didn't understand like why it was such a serious thing. I guess like people are different, but
no, but
for it to be that serious that you hold a grudge that makes you make a bi sister video, I was like
rooted in insecurity.
There was a lot more to it.
Do you also just think she was dumb and just straight up did not know how damaging it was? Maybe the first video, and then was manic.
Listen, I think she's one of the worst people I've ever met, so I'm not trying to say anything for her.
I don't know if I've ever met her.
Bold words, considering you're associated with Davi Vanity.
Ow! Jump scare.
The gummies seem to be like people's catalyst of like, this was the root.
When in reality, it was very anecdotal.
It was way more than that. And we were all spending a lot of time together. We learned a lot of things about it was a lot of things. Yeah.
I don't have a lot of conjecture about it. Like the conjecture I have about it is fairly close in some ways to what my friend Jen has said on her series about this. Also to what many other people have said. It was about friendship. It was really about Tati thinking that her and James Charles were really close friends. And when she saw that ad pop up, it tripped her the fuck out. It can just make you uncomfy. For her, she was just very uncomfortable. She was upset. She felt like he was her friend, especially because his reasoning for not wanting to rep her gummies is that he had a mostly adolescent viewer base. And he knew that, so he didn't want to support that, which is why he did the sugar bear hair thing on his Snap stories, I believe. Was it Snap stories or IG stories? I feel like it was Snap because that's where you make money. You still make a boatload of money on Snap. And that's why he did it, because it was like going to be a 24-hour thing. It wasn't going to be something in his mind that his young fans were going to see and go get. I feel like that was his thought process. Reminder, he was a kid at this point as well. So I don't think he was thinking anything of it. I don't think he was trying to be like a complete asshole about it. I do think he's full of himself. I don't think he gave a shit. I don't think he was really giving a fuck about Tati's feelings. I think he was doing what every selfish young person does, which is like care about themselves. Calling Tati the worst person you've ever met is bold. Let's move 37 minutes in.
I think that was the start of it, because to me, the gummies was loyalty. I'm gonna speak for her stupid ass Tati. You dumb. I'm gonna say. Let me say one thing for you before you die. You fucking old witch.
I just wish more people would come on cancel.
Please stop calling her old. 3 years. Y'all didn't see it, but I was like moving my fingers over here to count. 3 years. She's 3 years older than you. I mean, if you want to be mean about it, you can call her an older hag. It's not like you're 20 years younger than her.
One of the darkest people I've ever met.
Really? I don't think I've ever met her.
She got me with the guise of being like, you know, this like
a sweet older woman,
middle-aged guy.
Yeah.
But
no,
like,
I'm only being funny because people will say I'm age shaming. We're really close in age.
No, but
I'm not age shaming.
No,
her aesthetic was the mother of YouTube, and why would she be a part of any drama?
So why would you do that? Again, he'll be like, people don't get that I'm sarcastic, but like your sarcasm sucks. There's a million and one things that you could call her that don't have to do with age shaming her. You could have called her a dumb bird. That's fun. Even just calling her a runt with a C, sufficient. We don't have to like move to calling her old just to be like funny and sarcastic. Called her Lady Voldemort. That would be fun and sarcastic and a double entendre, because many people call you Jeffree Voldemort. See how fun that would be?
Because she found out a lot of stuff about him. She knew he was evil and she wanted to remove him. But the gummies was about loyalty. So I think back.
Okay.
Oh, you think he was behind video 2.
Yeah, that's what she's told people. Yeah, that he manipulated her. These people are so twisted.
But your memory's so great.
And I wasn't a part of any of it. That's the problem.
His memory can't be great. I'm fast forwarding because like I know that he's trying to spin this again. And honestly, I just feel like if you're gonna go on a podcast, let's drop the whole this person has negative energy, they're the darkest person I've ever met. You have a voice note, don't air it. That's shitty. We're not outing victims. But you were chilling with these people and you didn't seem to understand their dark energy until they didn't want to fuck with you anymore, which is what always happens with Jeffree anyway. And I just feel like you keep forgetting you're the common denominator in the ending of the majority of your friendships and in the Dramageddons.
So now we're 5 years later. You're telling me that me and Shane called her on the phone and coerced her into this has to be a joke. That's what I'm like, how could anyone believe that was real?
Would you ever?
I'm over here like living my fucking rock star dreams where I'm opening up Morphe stores around the fucking world. There's 30,000 people coming to these malls while I'm doing
I do believe that they supported her greatly in her dropping the video. Listen, they like to pretend that they're friends, but I think that it's in their best interest that they not collaborate or be with each other because it does not benefit either one of them. And Shane's documentaries suck balls.
I don't give a fuck about anyone but my empire. Everything's growing. We have fucking, I mean, it was all so beautiful and I couldn't believe they wanted to ruin it all because we got so successful. The two underdogs.
I would like to not ever call Shane Dawson an underdog. Smelly dog, but underdog? No. There's no need to fear. Trashy dog is here. Because by the time that they were doing this documentary, Shane Dawson was already a millionaire at this point. What are you talking about? How the fuck was he an underdog? When was he an underdog? Oh yeah, Tana is really doing a lot of heavy lifting here, but that's Tana. Tana, and she said this herself, she will do anything for clout. She will go everywhere for clout. She does not care. It's a good time. This is how she makes her money now. And it's what I expect out of these podcasts with Jeffree Star at this point.
The biggest. We went to Walmart, 50 million views. It was untouchable. And they were so mad that the two fucking won.
It's so crazy.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
We'll never
Nobody was mad about that.
I am upset that Shane disappeared for over a year. I don't know. He couldn't handle it mentally. I don't want to speak for him, obviously.
I would love to get him.
Well, Shane doesn't like to take baths, and so we're gonna move forward.
What do you think went wrong?
That's a big question.
It's a great question.
Yeah, it's a really great question.
Slay, Brooke.
Thank you. I've heard that before.
For some reason, it was like the 2012, yeah. That I don't know. Remember when like everyone just stopped being funny? That's when the cancel culture really started to creep in. And
oh my God. Is he gonna old man yell out the clouds about cancel culture? Look. There's 2.42 million subscribers to the canceled podcast. It has 2.1 million views. This video aired 2 weeks ago. Please explain to me how cancellation worked on any of these people. Because if it worked, these people would not be here. I would not be watching Tana after all of her racial allegations and her being racist and being an awful friend, failed TanaCon. I wouldn't see her. Brooke, 2 peas of a pod, racist ass shit. Jeffree Star, consistently racist. 2.1 million people watch this, and I don't know how much fucking money that is in AdSense, but it's more money than I will probably ever see. The kind of money that they probably made, plus the sponsorships, I would probably have to work like 5 years to make that money. And that's if I don't have to pay my job back like I'm doing now. I can't let it go. I'm tired of these like has-been ass bitches always talking about, that was not very nice, always talking about cancel culture and how they lost everything. And like, you didn't lose shit. All you really lost, the general public doesn't fuck with you. The general public doesn't fuck with you. Your fans and then people who don't know the shit that you did will, and they don't care. That's how this shit works. It's very annoying. These people will literally do this to us every time, like cancel culture and you can't be funny. George Carlin was funny as fuck.
Nobody even tells you when you're a kid what the words are that you're supposed to avoid. You have to say them to find out which ones they are.
The shit he said then is as relevant then as it is today.
They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago.
And here's the best part. Like Patrick CC just did a video on it on George Carlin, and I really like this part that he ended up pointing out was that a lot of these comedians, when they're quote unquote canceled, then go on to have the bulk of their material literally being about them being canceled.
It seems like every comedian now combines social commentary and their political ideologies into their stand-up acts, which often resorts to them making jokes at the expense of vulnerable or marginalized groups.
And then they just say a bunch of shitty buzzwords, and like that's their comedy special.
And we have seen this nauseating cycle time and time again where a comedian makes a cheap joke at that community, and they get backlash online, and everyone with a podcast starts citing free speech and artistic freedom.
Like, I'm sorry you're not fucking funny. That's not my fault. But then you come out and you're like, well, Turns out you can't be funny anymore. And it's like, no, you just maybe shouldn't say slurs. Maybe you shouldn't come out and attack trans people for fun. Maybe you shouldn't come out and try to make DV funny in the way that you make it funny. Like everything can in some way or another be funny. It's all in how you do it, and it's all about your intent.
Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
We're going to go through this old man yelling at the clouds back when people could be funny. People could yell racial slurs and call you the R word. That's coming back. They just didn't have a platform with which to tell you to fuck off and stop doing that. Now they do.
And the phones blew up,
Like,
and
what was
everyone
it
had
like
way
being
more.
out in LA with Paris Hilton and a flip phone? Good God. Like,
best.
Yeah.
Me and Paris Hilton and Kelly Osbourne at the Spider Club, and we have our fucking T-Mobile sidekicks.
I miss my little.
And it was just such a different time. It was so fucking cool.
I genuinely think that I should have been in that time.
It was epic, and I was really young. So
You
that's
would've
when
been
I was.
too
I was her age back then. I was 19 years old doing Kelly Osbourne's makeup and going to all the clubs with the
how
fake ID
fun.
and the pink mohawk and just fucking like. It was all so new and crazy.
But how lucky you were to experience it because so many people now, like that's what you come to LA for, and it's just not here.
It's not
I
there.
remember the last time you and I went out, we went to Bootsy Bellows. This was probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And you and I were having a night like it was 2012.
Yeah.
And I remember you and I just looking at each other and looking around, and you were like, fuck this shit. Like this shit used to be. You know, like it was
It used to be so fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
For white people. Anyways.
It's just weird.
It
So
is
it's
so-
weird that TikTok is here, and all those old people that we've been talking about, we've had each other blocked forever. So are they running TikTok? I heard Tati's trying to do live stream. It's flopping.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And James,
It's actually not flopping. Tati's live streams are not flopping. She's doing very well. She explained why she was doing it. I feel like it's the only place that she properly discloses. But
and James has a makeup line now, 100 years later.
Oh.
I guess only because I'm the queen of reviewing, and so many people
Have you
been
reviewed
like,
Painted?
I can't review.
It would be so viral.
I really, yes, it would. But at the end of the day, it's a Patrick Ta ripoff. There's nothing new or inspiring
Ooh.
about it. The packaging of his blushes are identical to Patrick Ta and Tom Ford.
Ooh.
It's boring. It's really uninspiring from what I've seen.
Who does inspire you?
I mean, I don't like James's makeup. That is kind of a burn. I don't want to be agreeing with Jeffree Star in any capacity because it hurts my heart. But he's not wrong.
Tell me what's Jeffree Star approved? What's getting you going?
My favorite thing is I love that whether it's celebrity or fashion, makeup artists have makeup lines. Pat McGrath, #1, fucking amazing,
I
right?
love Pat
I used to
McGrath.
be a little kid opening up magazines to shoot, and all her makeups were there. Interview.
Y'all know why he said that, right? Off the bat, #1, Pat McGrath. You know what I'm saying? You know why. Trying to beat them allegations.
So people like her, Patrick Ta, Makeup by Mario. I love that artists get to have their own brands now versus
Makeup
all
by
these
Mario
fucking,
diehard.
all these dumb celebrities.
Money
Everyone around the corner. Listen, it's worked for Gaga.
I don't really care if celebrities have a brand. I don't, because they're not really making it. It's fine. Some makeup artists are celebrities. It doesn't matter. And stop calling people dumb. You had a failed music career and then became a makeup artist, and then you have a brand.
She's genuine, right? Selena Gomez, huge hit. Some of these people, JLo skincare line.
Bless her heart.
J-Lo has a skin
I
She has
don't
everything.
think anyone's bought it but her assistant. No one knows about.
Listen, JLo's lip jizz is really good. I will 10 toes deep in JLo's lip jizz.
It take you that long to
It
find
does. It does.
Actually sounds worse than I wanted it to sound.
I'm finding it.
I'm gonna stand 10 toes deep in
About
JLo's
it.
lip jizz.
Selena Williams.
Serena Williams?
Serena.
I
gotta go.
No, me correcting you is also just as if
Serena.
I'm scared to say
Just
it.
because we said
I was
Selena.
like,
Because
yes,
we said Selena Gomez. No.
You gave me a shade crying on the couch. It's the same color as the couch I cried
Yeah.
to Shane Dawson on. So I was crying about TanaCon to Shane Dawson on this tan couch, and they made an eyeshadow that was the
How
same color as the couch. It was
Yeah.
Hunter's couch. And
Yes,
I opened
this
up the
is
other day and I
so
was like,
Okay, it's not cool. Please. I'm gonna go 55 minutes in because I'm already tired of them.
that's just, I associate so many
I
of our best
know.
memories.
I wanna do a yak mukbang, though.
YouTube
Yeah, we should.
culture is me and you eating fast food, me and Trisha at fucking every fast food place, and it's just the yak meat's so good. Let's do a barbecue
I wanna
cookout.
try it.
We should.
I wanna
So
try it,
if
but,
you
like,
come to
dress it
Wyoming,
back.
there's 6 restaurants that serve the Jeffree Star yak meat.
You're
Really?
Isn't that cool?
And I never eat, that's the thing, I'll eat
Isn't that
actual
fun?
chicken
That's
paste.
so cool.
And then it's like, I'm scared to try yak. It's like, babe,
I know. I have
what's
a
in
hard
the
time
nuggets?
because any animal that I haven't tried yet.
No, I get it. This is something I will, in fact, be on Tana's side. She's like, I'll eat chicken paste, but I won't eat yak because you don't fucking really know what a yak is. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying, like, your brain, right? You can't, like, exactly comprehend that. There's a lot of things like that. The post-podcast Patreon situation for this. Bitch, listen.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I feel guilty. But then it's like, I love the little
Do you,
videos.
do you blur this
and I'm
out?
still
Do
picking up bacon.
you blur this later?
I should, but I'm always vaping.
Okay, great.
It's so funny. The other day she was
Next door forever. No, you're very wealthy. Brands are paying her hundreds of thousands of dollars to say something is great, and it could be great, could not be great. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't respect liars, and I think that's what's frustrating.
I really hate the way Jeffree very consistently says that he doesn't respect liars. Everyone lies. And I don't say that like everyone's a liar. Everyone lies, whether you intended to or not. It's just like part of the human condition. Lying by omission is still a lie. I don't hate liars. I hate when you are intentionally lying to deceive or harm someone. Because like you telling me that you like my sweatshirt just to be nice to me, cool, but you're not trying to hurt my feelings. You're just genuinely, you're like, I'm sure Audra likes this sweatshirt that they made 4 years ago as merch. You don't actually like it. You're just saying it to be nice to me. That's fine. It's the same way I feel about morality. Your morals are very flexible. A lot of people think that they're inflexible, but your morals are as flexible as your situation. The truth is malleable as well.
So I've had to be like, okay, the integrity of the beauty community has been compromised.
I gotta come back on TikTok.
That part.
Yeah.
And if people really want the truth, they know where to find it. And my views speak for themselves. And, you know.
And they always have, and you've been very consistent.
Like I said, the truth is malleable. Truth is what you want it to be. Because if the truth actually mattered, I would not be sitting here preparing for like the next, I don't know, however many more years of a repressive fascist government.
They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that.
If the truth mattered, but it doesn't. Feelings do.
Honesty, which I've always respected. It is so good. Always. I do just want to say, like, I've known you for so long, and you've always been in a good fucking spot. And honest about, you know, when you go through things and stuff. But like, it just feels like I am talking to a Jeffree 7.0. Like it feels like you were just someone. I mean, you've done everything, and it's cool. That
do you hear like a band?
But what is next for Miss Jeffree Lynn? Like, what do you want to do? What are you passionate about? What are you?
Ooh, girl, don't call him Miss Jeffree Lynn, because we all know how he feels about trans people and pronouns. Use his correct pronouns. He is a he, which he made a point earlier in this podcast to be like man to woman, and then did his evil like ha 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 to the camera.
I want to ask you.
Why did her second
woman to man when she What would you think about if I was sucking on camera?
It's actually so funny that you say that, because I was just going to ask you.
I can't breathe.
I was just going to ask you questions in that realm.
You've never done that, right?
I am so,
like for an audience.
I've never fucked or sucked on camera, but I would be a liar if I said that I never will, right? Like, I'm not saying I will, but I'm not saying it's fully off the table.
That's true. Tana would. I think of anybody who could be like a, you know, top tier star, I think Tana would make that. Tana, the pimp, allegedly was excited about the question. Exactly. And feelings are liars too. I hate my feelings right now. Yeah, like that's the thing, is everything is based on your perspective. That's why that people keep saying that there's his side, her side, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. But like, his side is the truth to him and her side is the truth to her. And then you're the third party hearing it, and you're going to figure out what you believe to be the truth is. And then everybody's going to come out with some varying opinions on what they think happened. All this shit's malleable. We like to have like everything be very black and white. It's just not. It would be nice. It would make life easier, but it's just not.
I look at the tape in the corner of my room like the Hat Man every day. Like I'm thinking about, you know what I mean? I'm just, and it's easy. It's so easy. And you know, I'm not glorifying all.
It's not easy. I'm gonna just take that back. Sex work on film is not easy. If you've ever watched After Porn, I feel like that's really what it was called. It was a series. They really discussed like the difficulties of doing that kind of work, what it's like after you're finished, where you go, how do you live your life? Because like people kind of forget that like Jenna Jameson was one of the first in our modern age to build an empire. Like, yes, Lovelace existed. I'm not saying she didn't, but what I'm saying is that Jenna Jameson built a fucking empire and was in the mainstream. And a lot of people really forget how big of a deal it was that you had a huge porn star being mainstream. Like, she was in the Blink-182 video. I don't think people understand like the impact that she had, but it was a lot of work, and it's had like a very intense toll on her as a person and her mental health. But it's not easy. A thing that people forget is one of the reasons that OnlyFans and or Pornhub became more popular for people to do this kind of work is very much because you could set the boundaries of what would and would not be done. You could do it in your own home. You could do it by yourself, and you could be comfortable filming how you wanted to film without the fear of all of the other things that are involved in the industry. And for a lot of people, as long as they weren't quote unquote discovered by their regular job, they could also keep their regular job and their regular life.
I'm just saying in our personal positions when
of
you're
who we are,
sitting,
and
yes, and when
we're
you're sitting
not
on
random
the vault,
hookers that are just gonna fucking hop on.
I look at Mikayla every day and I'm like, God damn, we could just run away with the money, you know?
I've
So,
had those
but I knowing you, when all the celebrities did OF, I remember like Tyga and just whatever. I was like, damn, I could see Jeffree Star doing this, but you're gonna put a business spin on it. Go ahead, tell me what it is.
Well, she asked what's next. I am 90% done with an autobiography.
Who asked for that? I know that that's like a thing that people hate people saying, but who asked for an autobiography of Jeffree Star?
Famous writer wrote it with me, and they interviewed me for
Oh, wow.
almost 2 years, and it's just really insane.
Okay.
So a book of being in my mom's stomach till right before Wyoming. Like my entire life up until Wyoming is the book. It's insane. It's very inspirational. It's very.
Is this gonna be one of those ones that's like, there I was in the womb, warm, safe. Little did I know that when I came out, everything would come crashing down? Or was it gonna be like him being bored and him being like, freeze frame? Hi, I'm Jeffree. I guess you're wondering how you got here.
It all started when my mom met my dad, and they fell in love, and they had me. Hi, I'm Ryan, and my life, it's kind of crazy.
Dark and shockingly, even though I showed so much on my YouTube channel, every surgery, every crazy secret, every whatever, I still have a lot of secrets and things from my past and childhood.
That's literally where I'm at.
That I'm ready to share.
Yep.
Not to like, oh, it's spicy to make some money.
I
No,
relate to
there's
this so hard.
Yes, and there's a lot of dark things and things I went through that I had never told anyone, and things that happened to my family, and I just feel like
no one cares.
For like reviewing, she was almost known for like turning herself into like
transformations.
Yeah, and that's so different.
And she was
now
at the forefront, and to me, she was the first beauty YouTuber
ever.
Yeah, OG. Much respect to her. I didn't mean that in a negative way. It's just I think her time has passed. Stop it right now. I mean, listen, I was sitting in a 25,000 square foot house by myself and my dogs, and I was like, I'm bored. I didn't want
I can only have Tana Mojo come over and eat Jack in the Box
so many times. It's like, it kind of wears thin. You know, but it's also hard to look at a stranger and be like, the glass elevator in the theater got old. It's like, no, having so much shit and stuff that I thought I needed to fill a void got old. And then once I woke up and had an ego death and realized I didn't need anything, but
I need men to stop saying ego death. Like, oh my God, I realized that other people exist outside of me. Okay. It's just like a really long, glazing interview. I think we got what we needed out of this, to be honest. I just feel like I keep getting brought into a room and I don't care to be in the room. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Let's find out what the hell happened after the fact. The girl and the guy are fighting. I'm being very purposeful about my language because I am not going to misgender somebody. So, Spill Sesh, who is a human being.
You guys, Jeffree Star is in more drama. I don't know how this happened, but this week has been so nostalgic with Jeffree Star back in the headlines. But Jeffree Star got into some drama with Tana Mojo and Brooke Schofield fans this week, and there was definitely a lot of tension in the room when they were all together because yes, Brooke and Tana sat down to film a canceled podcast episode with Jeffree, and it has completely shaken the internet. They are not happy with the decision to film with Jeffree, and Jeffree was not liking that people were not loving on him. So it turned into a whole dramatic mess, and we are going to spill on everything that went down. Now, when I saw that Brooke and Tana were filming an episode of Canceled with Jeffree Star, I figured two things. Either there had been so much that's happened over the years that they're exhausted from drama and are just going to have a little laugh and catch up, or maybe he would talk about some things, throw a little shade maybe at James Charles and Tati, and that would be it. But I did not expect things to get dramatic between him, Tana, and Brooke and their fans, with Jeffree getting an attitude over the fact that he isn't loved by the YouTube community and that they have not forgotten his past. On Monday, Tana and Brooke posted a TikTok with Jeffree, really bringing us back to the old YouTube days. Like truly, this week, with all this talk about Jeffree, it really is feeling like old times. But Tana confirmed that they were recording an episode of Canceled with him as she captioned the TikTok, "Best podcast ever at Jeffree Star." And the reactions were crazy, with people saying this wasn't a good look for them to be associating with Jeffree, especially with the way that Brooke was just canceled for her past.
Can we all just say Peter called this shit?
Girl, you're done. Jeffree Star, you might still be pulling views, but not Jeffree Star views. And I think you know that. And that's why you're doing this podcast tour. Because you're kind of done, girl.
Peterman called this shit a while back.
Girl, all you are is a bag of farts. Hot air. That's all you are, Jeffree Star, okay? And don't nobody care.
And said that it's really not a good idea for anybody to be having Jeffree on there.
I said, like, in videos like 6 months, a year ago, I said what's going to be really sad is that Jeffree Star, I think, will go out like on a TikTok live battle where nobody really even cares about him anymore.
This is the thing. If you're not gonna come and you're not gonna come clean, there's literally, it like does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. Jeffree Star isn't worth shit. He will try to rewrite history and act as if he left the beauty industry. He was told to leave. We collectively stopped watching his videos the way that we used to. He stopped breaking the internet with his palette releases. Nobody really gives a shit when he's dropping a video. And we haven't forgiven him because he's never actually said sorry.
Past tweets, they just felt like this was not the move for her right now. But people were also like, Tana, aren't you friends with Trisha? Why would you have Jeffree on, someone who has not been the nicest to her and has beef with her? To this, I will say that Trisha had recently expressed that she wanted Jeffree on her podcast, so I think she's more than okay if Tana has Jeffree on. But I'll also say that people were not thrilled at the idea of Trisha having Jeffree on, feeling like she's moved past all the drama and just associating with Jeffree in general. They didn't love that for her, but she still wanted him on.
I follow them both on, well, actually me and JoJo still follow each other on Twitter, on X, and I follow Jeffree.
I would also say that Trisha should use this moment where if they did film, don't put it up. You don't know me from anybody, Trisha, but let me tell you, you gorgeous babe. Don't do that, because don't nobody like Jeffree Star over here. He can do his whatever the fuck he does on TikTok. We can avoid him there. I can purposely never see it because I haven't seen Jeffree Star on TikTok. He is not in my algorithm at all. Please leave us alone. Please let us be free, Jeffree.
And then from the Just Trisha account, I follow both of them.
Okay,
so I would love both of them to be on.
Just to see for journalistic reasons. That would be kind of a good crossover, I think. I mean, again, not co-signing on the antics, but from a journalistic standpoint, we have questions.
Yeah.
And closure is needed.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't like to be on like ill terms with anyone. You know, I don't want anyone to feel some type of way because like in the grand scheme of things, like like the Cody Coes and all those people out there, it's like, and Jeffree and me, I do think of fun moments, and he did. He did an apology, and I don't know, it'd be nice to be on good terms.
Yeah, I see that.
Right?
I think so.
And JoJo, I have a soft spot for. I've always been a fan. So anyways, I put those two out, but
it was rumored this week that it does seem like it's actually going to happen, as it was reported that Jeffree confirmed on TikTok Live that he was going to do Trisha's podcast. And Tana did address a comment about Trisha when someone said, "We need to hear from Trish about this ASAP." And Tana said, "Oh, just you wait." So who knows what's about to come out of this episode. But what I will say though is that after they recorded at Tana's house, it seems they drove over to Brooke's apartment where they were going to go live on their Patreon with Jeffree. While they were in the car, they did throw a little shade at James Charles, as Tana posted a video of her and Jeffree next to an old video from a collab that they did with James back in the day and said, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Now, this is when things get a little crazy because their Patreon Live was having a lot of technical difficulties. Things were not working, the audio, everything was going in and out, fans were not happy, the girls were not happy, and the fact that Jeffree was with the girls just in general already had people in the chat really upset. They were calling out Jeffree for being there, and they were calling out his past, they were calling out the girls, and just overall making it known they were not happy. Jeffree then decided to go on TikTok Live like he usually would, and he was starting to battle people, you guys, and the chat was annoyed by the fact that he was on live on his own phone while the girls were on Patreon Live, and thus started some very uncomfortable tension between the girls and Jeffree because he was getting really upset about the hate comments coming through from their Patreon and was trying to justify why he was on live on his own phone. And Tana and Brooke were trying to defuse the whole situation, but Jeffree kept seeing the chat from Patreon and was getting upset.
Because Jeffree is a fucking bitch. Like, I can't. Why would you do that? I also do feel like this is made up because it's fucking Jeffree Star and Tana.
They're just mad because they pay money and yours is free.
So? What does that have to do with them?
No, I just mean the talking, I don't think hear us.
No, I get it. I was just coming on here for a couple minutes just to say hi to my people because I haven't been live all day.
No, I think you have to be live on TikTok. You're teaching me the way. I'm not saying not to be live on TikTok. Please keep going, honestly.
This is a Muppet.
Because when I'm begging for literally one singular galaxy next week, I'm live.
But you won't need to do that.
I'm making you
People are ready to. That's gonna take a while to build up that.
So, I guess you can only get Broke again. No, you have to spend $1 million on TikTok to gift to Pegasus, right? Jeffree?
Jeffree, you should get a Pegasus at the ranch.
I can't take most of this serious. Not. How could you call me Jason Nash when I'm at the #1 beauty store on the #1 app in America?
I don't think you and Jason Nash are in the same caliber of people, literally at all.
People are just people are being so mean for no reason. I don't know why. I'm sorry if my live's bothering everyone. I'm gonna end it now. No, I am. I'm sorry if my live is bothering everyone because you're trying to do a live stream for people who are quite literally paying. Like, I don't know if people understand like the Patreon YouTube membership situation, but when you're doing stuff for that, like they pay for that and you're being a dick and doing your own. Oh God. There's so many people in here and they really love you, Tana. I just don't know why I'm being, look, he's horrible. He should get out. He's awful. Yeah, we don't want Jeffree to come back.
I want you to come back. Thoughts about driving on the
Yeah, no worries.
Jeffree was in a really bad mood from all the hate.
Jeffree Star is and has been persona non grata for a while because he's just awful. Even that whole thing was awful. He's like, oh, people are being mean to me. They're literally doing their live for their patrons and he's ruining it.
And just kept telling his live how mean the comments were being.
I feel like every time
they're live on Patreon, you guys, and they're being so mean to me.
I don't even want to. Hey, it's the girl whose boyfriend was
so
playing.
mean. No one's ever mean to me, and her chat is being vicious.
And he only seemed to be somewhat happy when he was actually battling people on live, which I gotta say, like the girls are on live, they're all in the same room. He couldn't have waited or honestly just gone home. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Go to your own house. Why are you like this?
Like, the whole thing was so awkward.
MVP to Island, thank you. Jessica, Love and Beauty, Chula, Marie, Lily, VMB, Adriana, Shaken, and P. Dolly, thank you so much.
Like, it's like, who does right, and what are they doing?
2K, we can't let them win this next one.
No power up.
Come on, let's go. My team ready. We're locking low. What we doing, first to three?
The fact that I can literally hear them in the background. They're trying to do their live and he's like, thank you so much. Thank you, I'm doing my live. I'm battling.
The canceled Patreon was still having technical difficulties, and Tana just seemed ready to call it and do an extra Patreon episode so they could all just stop. And Jeffree caught all of this going down on his live in the middle of his battle, literally right next to them.
Okay. Yes.
Tana, we still can't see her.
Tana, your live isn't working. We're in Jeffree's room.
Yeah, I give up.
I give up.
A part of me is just like, do we just do another extra episode on Patreon?
Let's turn me up, baby. Let's go. Shit, I gotta put my hair down for this shit. What's going on?
Everyone was just so overstimulated. The girls were overstimulated. The chat was overstimulated. And
No, baby, that's not overstimulation. That's fucking rudeness.
they wanted Jeffree to not be doing what he was doing, but he was not understanding.
They're really stressed. Overstimulated. It's like I'm overstimulated personally, but only because of this one game. Honestly,
hey, come.
Right now, like they're getting go.
Yeah.
I don't feel like everybody understands what overstimulation
Jeffree
is.
ended up going outside on Brooke's balcony, which I'm going to blur his surroundings because honestly, he was showing her entire view, giving away where she lives. And he even says at one point, like the streets that she lives on. I don't know why he decided to say this, but he was openly just discussing it as he was explaining why the chat was so upset with him.
Why they get mad at you?
Devon, thank you. I don't know, because they can hear me. I'm like, okay, so move the microphone away.
Yeah, I mean, at least I got to see like what you do. Oh, we have to go. We have to go.
Well, Bobby Joe, all the girls inside were screaming at me. And I need to just take a second to say thank you so much for that fly love. They're on live on Patreon right now, and their whole chat was getting mad at me, so I stepped on the balcony.
But aside from all the drama between them and the fans that went down while they were with Jeffree, it seems there might be even more drama when the episode actually drops, because someone commented and said, say whatever you want about Jeffree. When he's a guest on a podcast, he spills major tea every time. I'm so excited for this one. And Tana said major tea was in fact spilled. So who knows?
There was no tea. Granted, once again, like I did with Shane's video, I fast forwarded through a lot of it because it's glazy, it's weird, it's uncomfortable, and there's no reason for us to just be sitting there for that whole time. If they're making this up, then they're making it up, but like nobody likes him. So just like stop bringing him around. This is our final learning lesson. People invite Jeffree Star onto shit because they know it's going to get the views. He's never going to actually spill any tea. He's just going to call Tati old. He's going to talk about how he's a villain. This is going to be every single thing that he goes to. He's going to talk about how him and Shane blew up the internet, made the documentary, da 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 da. He's going to tell you he didn't move for tax reasons or because he was unpopular. Nobody wanted to fucking do shit with him. Not anymore. Nobody wanted to do a fucking collab. So there was no reason for him to stay in LA if no one near him was ever going to collab with him because he's an actual fucking monster. Then he's going to float around some bullshit about fucking celebrities, like male celebrity athletes who are apparently straight, which that's not how that works. If they're fucking you, Jeffree, they're not straight. That's not how any of that works. And then it's just, it's going to be the same thing over again. And he's just going to keep talking about, that was a dark place. I'm healed now. They all say that they were in a dark place and now that they're healed. But you ain't done shit that's made anybody give a fuck in like literal years. So like, I mean, I get it, whatever, have Jeffree as your guest on stuff so that you can get those views. But are the views worth the shit that comes afterwards? Because no, it's not even like being lactose intolerant. Like at least with lactose intolerance, I got an enjoyable thing out of it, which was the cheese. Am I gonna be exploding in the bathroom every fucking 15 minutes for about 2 hours? Yes, but was the cheese delicious? Also, yes. Anyway, that's it. That's all. People inviting Jeffree Star to places is just stop it. Please let us be free. We don't want to deal with him anymore. I like that Tana has a podcast. I don't like her accoutrement Brick. Oh, her name's Brooke. My bad. I haven't even been drinking. The news here is stop inviting Jeffree Star to anything. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing for you to do. Anyhow, that's the end of this video. I'm Audra. Like if you want, subscribe if you want. And until next time, I am so pretty and so are you.